I'm the best middleweight in the world as far as I'm concerned. I've been 9 years into my 10th year as a champion. Being a bit slow as for getting the recognition I deserve, and the Jeff Lacey fight, I think I showed the world exactly what I could do. When I need to.
Yeah, you still. Has that bothered you that you haven't got the recognition, or you say, hey, you know what, it'll come when it comes, and it has finally come? You happy with that?
Yeah, I've been patient. Obviously, it's been frustrating for me because I've been like that. I've had that ability in me for 9 years before the Lacey fight. But it's taken the Lacey fight for a lot of people, especially in the States, to sit up and take recognition of what I am as a fighter. So I'm really happy that Lacey come over to the UK to fight. And things have taken off for me, late in my career, but I'm really happy about that, and looking forward to 2007.
Yeah, but Lacey wasn't too thrilled about that. You didn't kind of fit the script. You fought a lot at home, and that's been the knock on you, that you fought a lot at home. And this fight here is going to be another fight. I mean, do you get too comfortable fighting in your own backyard?
I don't get too comfortable. A ring's a ring at the end of the day. Listen, I've said already that I'm willing to come over here maybe in July. If I get a fight with Jermaine Taylor or Bernard Hopkins, that fight will probably be in the States. I'm willing to do that. I've already stated that fact. And like I said, first things first, I got to beat the Manfredo. It's going to be my 20th defence, so I have to make sure I put a wicked performance on my 20th defence, and hopefully come over the States in July.
2-0 to keep though. Are you going to stay this way, or do you see yourself going up?
Yeah, possibly going up. If I fight Jermaine Taylor, then if I do get that fight, it has to be 168. But if not, then I'd like to move up 175 because, it's always been an ambition of mine to be a two-weight world champion.
Hey, Joe, back to Kessler for a moment. You said that the networks may not have wanted that fight, especially at this point, because he's not well known. But you personally, is that a fight before the end of your career that you'd like to take?
Yeah, it's a fight that I like to take. He's an excellent fighter. He's probably the second best fighter in the super middleweight division. But listen, I want to fight what fights earn me the most money. Simple as that. And that's why I'm relinquishing the IBF title, because that doesn't make money, does it? Fighting the guy Peter Stieglitz, belts don't put food on the table at the end of the day. I'm nearly 35, and I'll give myself a 12-month, 16-month window to potentially earn what money I possibly can, and the best paydays for me and my family. And at the end of the day, it means fighting HBO and fighting fighters that they like, and that's American fighters.
You made a lot of mandatory defenses and guys that you knew that you were better than. How do you avoid in this fight fighting that you know that you're better than, looking past them? How do you avoid doing that?
Yeah, well, listen, this is my 20th defence of the title, and 20th defence of my title, I'm going to create history in being one of the very few fighters that gets to 20. So that in itself, and fighting in front of my hometown fans in Wales, which could possibly be the last time I fight in Wales, especially if I come to the States later on in the year. That in itself is enough to motivate me to make sure that I don't slip up. And it's not just about winning, it's about going in there and being in tremendous form, similar to the form that I put up against Lacey. And that's the sort of fitness I want to achieve in this next fight.
Joe, you beat Lacey on top of the world.
Well, not really. Obviously, I was going to fight in July, and I got injured, so that didn't go according to plan. Wasn't really happy with the opponent in Bika. Very tough fighter, but very dirty fighter. If you've seen the fight, I got cut for the first time in my career, which I wasn't happy about. But listen, I showed a different side to my nature. I showed I could slug it out when I have to. Got cut and still managed to come through and win the fight. It's not all roses, not about fighting beautiful every time. And I had a bit of a not a great fight, but still come through.
Contender, so you beat Lacey, and it seems like you're back to where you were before you beat Lacey.
Well, I don't know, not really. You tell me who else is at the fight at super middleweight. Who's at the fight at super middleweight in America? HBO wanted me to fight in America, and that's why I've given up the IBF title. The mandatory is a guy called Peter Stieglitz, but no one gives a shit about Peter Stieglitz. So, you want to fight. Everybody knows, like in the UK, people know the contender. They know Manfredo in the UK. You say another fighter like Alan Green, for instance, he doesn't matter to anybody. And is he any better than Manfredo? I don't think so.
Is that what this fight is about, to acquaint you better to the American fans?
Well, yeah, as well. Of course it is, And Manfredo, in his last two fights, he beat Joey Spina, Scott Pemberton. So at super middleweight, you got to say he's a pretty good fighter. Sorry.
Explaining yourself. You haven't lost in close to a decade, yet you still have to explain things. Does that bother you something?
Yeah, I haven't lost in 16 years, but that's the last time I got beat, man. 1990 amateurs, the last time I got beat. So, some 100 fights undefeated. But now explain myself. Listen, that's what it is. Listen, I'm disappointed to give up the ABF title, but if it's the route I gotta go, if I'm gonna get good TV coverage on HBO, and maybe that'll get me a big fight with the likes of Jermaine Taylor, or Hopkins. Maybe I need this fight to get to them, and if I do, then that's good.
Explain yourself, because you said you have to keep doing it. Maybe just in sentences to explain what kind of fighter you are, because boxing fans, the media know you very well, but the average fan in the street doesn't. How would you describe yourself as a fighter?
It's difficult to say. I'm not exactly consistent. I'm not saying I always win. I always find a way to win, and that's a sign of a true champion. I remember Lennox Lewis saying that when he fought bad, he got knocked out. But I still fight bad and break my hand. I still win. Somehow I still manage to win fights. And listen, I can box, I can fight, and go backwards. Sometimes I got too many styles. Sometimes I confuse myself. So sometimes I piss myself off, But hopefully I'll come with a good head in the next fight and fight a good fight.
Did you watch the Contender television show?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did watch it. I entertained. I liked it. Yeah, I thought it was okay.
Who was your favorite on the show?
Who's my?
Did you root for anybody?
Not really in particular. Not really. No, not really in particular. I think the CVs is good, isn't it? Where it makes everybody likable, and all the crying and all the still making it out like a movie. I was more entertained about that bit than the boxing, to be honest.
What would you think of Manfredo as a fighter?
I think, to be honest, I got to be honest with you. If I just seen the Contender, I would say it's an easy fight. But obviously, I've seen his last two fights against Joey Speen and against Scott Pemberton. I have to say, he looked pretty impressive. I know, they're not top fighters. Pemberton used to be a good fighter, so it's one of them fights where he's got nothing to lose. If I underestimate him, I could be in for a very hard night. So, like I said, it's my 20th defence, and that's what's going to motivate me to fight in a great fight.
Joe, you called out Hopkins. Hopkins called out Moscow. Kessler's calling you. So that most people think you should fight Kessler. Can you explain what's going on with that?
Listen, boxers don't determine their own destiny. TV, promoters determine which fights make the most money and so on. To the boxing purist, I suppose myself against Kessler with the best two super middleweights in the world. But if you go outside of Denmark, it doesn't really mean anything to anybody. So it's all about business. There's nobody in the UK, there's nobody in America. Well, listen, then people were saying, why are you calling that a retired fighter? I think it's the worst kept secret he's going to stay retired. He loves his money too much. I never thought that Hopkins for 2 minutes would stay retired. So, listen, if he gets a fight with Mascarev, well, good to him. But if not, then I'll wait to fight him. I was going to fight him 3 years ago. He backed out on the fight. We had given contracts to the fight, and then he backed out and asked for double the money. So, if he's going to come back out of retirement, like you say, I'm willing to fight anybody. Willing to fight anybody in America.
When you say you're calling it quits, you're going to call it quits?
Yeah, definitely. No, I don't think so. I'm too lazy, man. I'm too lazy. I have to get my ass kicked to get up in the morning training. I'm not going to be like Holyfield. It's sad the way, you can't leave boxing. I've got two beautiful kids. I've got things other than boxing. Boxing's been my life, and I'll always stay involved. Maybe train fighters, maybe manage fighters. But no, I want to be one of the few fighters that gets out at the top. I want to know. Hey, wicked, man. That'd be all right, wouldn't it? That'd be all right.
It seemed to be a very good year for you, and you might be one of the fighting of the year candidates as we decide that.
Yeah, listen, it's a fantastic year for me. Before the end of the year, my idea was perfect year was to fight 3 times. Unfortunately, it's only twice, but the main thing was to fight a great fight against Lacey, and I achieved that, and there's a great lot of relief off my back that finally I've been given. Every fight in their career has to look back at one fight that they can look back on was a great fight, and although I was champion for 9 years, I was missing that one career-defining fight, and the Lacey fight was that. So I feel like there's a lot of relief off my back, a lot of pressure off me that I've showed what I can do on the big stage.
You say you're coasting. That was you're just saying that was your fight. You're not coasting through the rest of your career.
Oh no, not at all. But I feel I've vindicated because listen, I wasn't given the respect. I wasn't given the credit I think I deserve as a champion, no matter what I did in the ring. But finally, people are like now are giving me recognition. And now I'm going to finally get the big fights that I crave. Hopefully Jermaine Taylor will be coming to America. Listen, people, what upsets me is people saying that I avoided fighting anybody. I don't avoid fighting people. I want to fight the top guys. And now hopefully I'm going to do that now.
If you got a pick, everything goes well on March 3rd, you don't get hurt, everything goes well, who would you fight?
Ideal fighter would be probably Jermaine Taylor. Because, he beat Hopkins, and I think his style is more suited to me than Hopkins, and he's a young up-and-coming fighter. Yeah, Jermaine Taylor is probably the toughest fight there.
That's a fight you anticipate would land here in the U.S.?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think he's going to come to the UK. I think if that fight does happen, then it'll be in the States. Listen, I'm ready to come over.
Is that the first time this has been brought up, or is people talking about it?
Yeah, I think a few people have talked about it. I know that Taylor said he wants to come up to 168, so listen, he's not going to come up and just fight anybody. He wants to fight the man. I'm the man at 168. He wants to be the best. He has to fight the true champion. I'm the true champion.